yesterday was really, really hot on the program. We promise you that today's edition is not going to be any less hot. It's going to be a good edition. So come and join us for breakfast on the Bumper Breakfast Show today. My name is Tom Aderele, and as usual, I'm never alone. I have two beautiful people flanking me on the right and on the left. One is male and one is female. One is dark and one is light. Oh, it's a wonderful combination today on the Bumper Breakfast Show. So please do not touch that dial. Stay tuned and watch us today as we bring you the trending stories of the Bumper Breakfast Show. Good morning, Tessie.
Good morning, Tom.
How are you? How was your night? I hope you had a wonderful rest after yesterday's hot.
I'm good. Good morning, viewers. Good morning to all our fans out there. How are you doing? Thank God it's a new day. Thank you God for the gift of life. My name is Teresa Adeyemi. Welcome to the show.
Okay, to my left.
Yes. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning to all our viewers. Good morning to all our supporters here, because we have to acknowledge you guys too every morning. It's another beautiful morning, another edition of the Thursday Bumper Breakfast Show. So you sit, enjoy, eat your breakfast again. My name is Ambassador Robin Emmanuel Oluwafe. Right to us.
All right, so today we have a lot of trending stories, and guess what? We're going to throw the lines open as soon as possible. We want you to participate. We want it to be an interactive session. We want to hear from you this time. So please, once the numbers are displayed on the screen, join us on the Bumper Breakfast Show live. Let's hear your voice. Okay, our first trending story this morning. Tinubu signs 2.17 trillion supplementary budget. I'm sure that's no longer news. Everybody already knows that. And so the President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday signed the 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget into law. The National Assembly had about a week ago passed the bill and subsequently transmitted it to the President for his assent. Tinubu signed the bill in his office at the Presidential Villa in Abuja at a ceremony witnessed by the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Others present at the signing ceremony were the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, and Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Zach Adedeji, Senate Leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, and the Chairman, Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Olamilekon Adeola. Well, that's it. That supplementary budget has been signed. Rio, let's hear from you.
I wasn't expecting anything
less
from the supplementary budget to be signed and to be signed with immediate availability. However, when they say supplementary budget, I want to believe everyone understood that English, by the way, knowing from the fact that there must be a supplementary budget. I don't care what the price is, I don't care what the figure is, but there must be a supplementary budget. You know why? Because the past and previous administration did not make provision for how Nigerians will survive between May 29 and December ending 2023. So there has to be a supplementary budget. However, I said I don't expect anything less. Why? Because the president too was quick to approve the vehicle for the lawmakers. Trust me, I told you, Nigerian politics.
Rub your back, I rub my back. And you rub my back.
Because if the president had given problem from signing their about 15 billion palliative something for the lawmakers and 130, 160 million NCD vehicles, there might have been problems, in the House signing the supplementary budget. Either they will say it's too much, or they will tell you there are some things that should be edited or should be removed. The Labour Party presidential candidate actually, said there were a lot of things that should not be mentioned even in the supplementary budget. I mean, Peter, but I'll come back to that later, because I need to understand something very well about what he said. So it's a good one for Nigeria. It's just that there are some specific things that Nigeria are expecting that the president we hit the nail on the head instead of doing some other things that Nigeria believe they don't need implement.
Can we have the number displayed on the screen so that we can have audience participation? Well, so it tells me that what we have right now is accelerated. Is that supposed to be the process, really?
That should be the process, since they say it's supplementary budget and they give reasons why the budget needs to be signed immediately. They have reasons because of education, so many reasons. They said because the inflation of the money, the value of naira, the value of $2 and everything. So, but you see, what I just want to say about this is I'm going to be quick about it because I don't have, just like you said, that is what we've been expecting. It's not as if it's news and it's not as if it's breaking news. It's what we know that since we passed the budget, they are going to approve it. It passed the second reading immediately without delay. But what I just want to say is once the money has been disbursed, we should please channel it towards the right channel. That's all I have to say about that. They should just do the needful, they should do the rightful thing, and let's make this country great again. Because I'm a strong believer of one Nigeria, one nation, one country, and I believe we are still going to get there. We are going to get there. And we getting there, God will not come down and do it for us. We, the human beings that He has created to drag the nation, are the one that will take us to the promised land. Because I believe our economy is going to bounce back.
But doesn't it kind of seem, strange that, when it comes to things of the masses, demands and needs of the masses, it never gets that quickly signed, never gets that quickly implemented. But when it's on the other side, it could be faster. Does that say something to anybody?
For the demands of the masses, though, there is this film I watched one time where this man begged that he wants to become God. I don't know, it's an American film. Did you see that film? And he became God, I think maybe for just 24 hours or for 7 or for 1 week. I can't really remember. It's been long and he couldn't cope because everybody had a request. And there was a time he granted everybody the request and there was chaos in the world. So I think sometimes the demand of the masses could not match with what they are thinking or how they want the economy to go. That is what I feel. Maybe reason. I'm just saying maybe. I'm not speaking for them. I don't know them, and I'm not an advocate for them. But I'm just looking at it from my own perspective. That sometimes what the masses need is not what all the masses need, because in this life, everybody can never agree, no matter what. Even if you have 80% of agreement, you will still have 20%. Even if you have 90%, you can never have 100% of everybody going the same way. You still see some people that will come and say, no, why don't we look at it from this perspective? My opinion, though, I understand to be correct.
Okay, Rio, I want to ask this question. A good leader should listen to should have a listening ear, should feel the pulse of the masses, should respond to them, whether by accepting what they're asking for or just by communicating or something. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to things of the mass, just like I asked Tessie, there's never this kind of very quick response. And for example, we've been asking for the minimum wage to be reviewed, and we had to go on and on and on and on and on and on. But now it comes to things that affect them directly, and it's just being bang, 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 bang,
just
bang.
like you said about the minimum wage that we asked them to review, a lot of things need to be put in place before they can achieve it, or else they will pay for 3 months and they will stop paying.
Do you not think that a lot of things should be put in place, when it comes to things like this? What do you think?
The thing is, let's take it from this angle.
Okay.
Human demand can never
has no end.
Be totally met. No matter how significant it is.
Yes.
And when it comes to government, sometimes government sees fairer and better than the people because they are actually sitting in the edge of a fear. They know the implication of increasing minimum wage without increasing the national budget. Now, when we talk about the people's demand, whatever people are demanding are also inside the supplementary budget.
Yes.
Now, I realized something yesterday. If this supplementary budget was passed quickly, is still, everything passed in the supplementary budget are still meant for the people.
Will be taken care of,
you know,
faster.
Security is taking over 600 billion is still for the people. You say they are increasing this is still for the people. Everything they are doing, excluding the salaries of the representative and the appointees. And now, if you now get to look at it, I realized something yesterday while Tessie was talking, that the money realized from fuel subsidy are the money they want to use, you know, for the palliative and for the buses they are getting for this and that. And I realized the supplementary budget they just, you know, signed is the money they
going
want
to take care of all these
to
things.
take care of this one. So I realized, oh, there are two things. So I feel like the government needs to communicate more. So they are signing 2.something trillion as a supplementary budget. Peter Obi said something yesterday and he said, oh, there are emergency things that the government is supposed to take care of. After then, when he finished saying it, some people came out to analyze how much they are, you know, budgeting for students, budgeting for this, budgeting for that. Like, what are the other emergency things? If you were the president, what would you have done? And I believe everybody has their own style of leadership. You can say you want to take care of this cup before you come back to take care of this basket because you believe, okay, now
that's your priority, that's your order.
Yes,
your
now
priority.
we need to take care of our security so that it can encourage foreign investors, you know, to come to the country. And I believe the supplementary budget is still the demand of the people, but maybe large number of the people are thinking differently from how the government is thinking. But I can tell you that no matter how much they think, the government believes they still know the best to go for their own administration.
And MC Rio, to buttress what you've just said, the supplementary budget is part of the demand of the people. Reason I'm saying, once the money is disbursed, they should
just going to
channel
re-emphasize
it towards the right channel. So we don't go back again. Why are we borrowing? We have free subsidy, trillion of naira have been achieved in few months, and we're still going out there to borrow. Why can't we work with what we have? Must we borrow? Why can't we work with what we have? If it's true, if it's not audio money, like I said yesterday, that there is 1.5, I'll name it, whatever the right figure is, why can't we work with what we have?
Quote according to our clock.
Political leaders first. Because if you are going
must
to
they be comfortable with the masses that they are ruling? Are we comfortable?
If you are going to work with what they are, then they should not be getting expensive lifestyle.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
The president is traveling to Saudi Arabia now. He's going with 8 ministers. He's going with, you know, some top managers in some, you know, government agencies. And I'm sure they are going to cater for them. They are still going to pay some things. They are still going to, you know, do some things. I don't think we need to start. Like they should know, let's cut our quota according to our size, because they understood this thing more than the people.
Yes.
The people don't care about
what we have.
About how much you are putting in security. The people just want, this is what we want. This is what people are hungry.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm saying.
No doubt people are extremely.
And people are managing. People are managing. Why can't they manage?
And that's why, you know, I asked the question, because we need some clarity. People need more, you know, they need to be clear, you know, on exactly what the supplementary budget is for. Yes, we know that it has been told to us, you know, but not, this information has not gotten everywhere, you know what I'm saying. So the impression may be that, you know, it's about them, but yes, in some way also it's about them. They're taking care of their needs, and they did take care of their needs before signing the supplementary budget. This is the Bumper Breakfast Show. Well, we have another story. It's something we've actually been waiting for. You know, EFCC releases Emefiele after court grants ex-CBN chief bail. And the body of the story: looking frail and older, Emefiele walked away unhindered from the building housing the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Maitama on Wednesday afternoon. Emefiele, dressed in a light green native attire and a cap, was brought to the court about 2 hours earlier by a group of operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, some of whom were armed. But following a ruling by Justice Oluka Adeniyi granting him bail and handing him to his lawyers, the EFCC operatives retreated, leaving him to his lawyers and relatives, who led him from the courtroom into a black SUV stationed by the court's main entrance. At the mention of the case of fundamental rights enforcement suit by Emefiele, his lawyer Matthew Burka told the court that the EFCC has produced his client in court in compliance with the court's November 2nd order. Justice Adeniyi then asked Emefiele, who was seated in the courtroom, to stand up to be cited, which he, Emefiele, did. Satisfied, Justice Adeniyi commended the EFCC and its lawyer Farouk Abdullahi for producing Emefiele in court in compliance with the order made by the court on November 2nd. The judge then took arguments from the lawyer to party on how they thought the court should proceed, following which lawyer to Emefiele, Burka, prayed the court to grant his client bail. Burka argued that it was wrong for the federal government to keep Emefiele for 151 days, about 5 months in custody, without being charged for any offense. He urged the court to exercise its power under the Administration for Criminal Justice to grant Emefiele bail. Burka added that the federal government and the EFCC have not shown that Emefiele was a flight risk who will not attend court when granted bail. On their part, lawyers to the respondents of the federal government of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, the chairman of the EFCC, and the EFCC, Oyinkole Osho and Abdullahi, prayed the court not to grant bail to Emefiele. They noted that a charge was pending against Emefiele, for which his arraignment has been scheduled for November 15th. Ruling, Justice Adeniyi noted the order was made pursuant to the provision of Order 4, Rule 4, 4C1 of the Fundamental Rights Endorsement Procedure Rules, which were made pursuant to the provision of Section 46(2) of the Constitution. He noted that from the documents filed by the respondent in the case, a fundamental rights enforcement suit by Emefiele, 2 issues stood out. The first, he noted, was a charge that was pending against Emefiele before another judge of a court, in which arraignment has been scheduled for November the 15th. The second, the judge said, was that the EFCC also brought the court's attention to a copy of a remand order to its claim to have obtained from the magistrate court in Abuja. He said despite the identified issues, the fact that Emefiele was kept in state custody for about 151 days without being arraigned before a court in relation to any criminal offense was of utmost concern to the court. Justice Adeniyi added, even where a remand order subsists, the court is empowered under Section 2982 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA, to make any orders it considers necessary during the remand period. I must emphasize that the essence of the exercise today is not for counsel on both sides to argue or debate or whether or not the court should admit the applicant to bail. The order of the court of November 2nd, 2023 is already clear on that. The exercise today also becomes necessary for the refusal of the third and fourth respondents to abide by the first option given by the court in its order of November 11th, which is to release the applicant unconditionally. He said although the court had been informed that Emefiele would be arraigned on November 15th, which is not a certainty, cannot prelude his court from admitting him to bail in the interim. There must be an end to detention without trial. There are no compelling facts placed before this court that if the court admits the applicant to bail, he shall not attend the arraignment as scheduled. Without any further ado, I hereby order that the applicant be released on bail to his learned senior counsel, Matthew Burka, J.J. Usman, and Magaji Mato Ibrahim, all SANs, who are hereby charged with the responsibility of producing him in court on the 15th of November 2023, the date scheduled for his arraignment, or any such other dates as the case may be. In addition, the applicant shall transmit and deposit all his international traveling documents with the senior registrar of the court pending his formal arraignment or pending the hearing and determination of the applicant's substantive motion on notice filed before this court, whichever is earlier in time, the judge said. But for the fact the Emefiele was shielded by his lawyers, he would have been attacked by some angry individuals who witnessed the court's proceedings and were not happy that the ex-CBN governor was granted bail. Emefiele, who looked troubled, was overheard asking his lawyers if they were sure the EFCC operatives would not come back for him. As he walked from the third floor, where the courtroom is located, to the ground floor and into the waiting car, some of the angry individuals were shouting, "Thief! Thief!" as they made efforts to reach him. His lawyers and some family members around promptly assisted him into the waiting car owned by one of his lawyers, and it immediately exited the court premises. It's quite a touching one. It's quite a touching one. But it is often said that, when we're doing things, we should be very careful. And when we climb a ladder, we should always remember to keep that ladder intact, because when we climb it up, we may need to use that same ladder to come down. They also say that he who kills by the sword must die by the sword. So we must be careful. What goes around will come around. Tessie, what's your opinion on this?
When Emefiele was arrested, as part of the citizen that was jubilating because what we went through during his tenure.
Yes.
His last days to stay. But now seeing what the EFCC is doing, because EFCC sees themselves as a demigod, see themselves as a teen god, and they believe they are above the law. Just like I said in the table yesterday, but EFCC proved me wrong because they brought him to court. Okay, EFCC proved me wrong before because they brought him to court.
Yeah.
You understand? And to the judge who allowed Emefiele to go home to his family yesterday, I want to say a big thank you to him. Yeah. Because he has been detained for over 100 days. He hasn't been charged to court. We don't even know the exact reason why he's being detained. They're saying $15 billion debt or some foreign exchange debt or something like that. But they did not bring him to court. If not that the judge stood on his ground and said, bring him to court. And he did mention yesterday in court that I'm clear on this matter. We are not here to argue who is right or who is wrong. What we are here to talk about is let this man go. And you see, the touching part of the story is when he asks again that, will these people not come back
for me? Oh, that was touching.
It was so touching, and I felt for him there. And just like you rightly said, wherever you are today, you are not going to be in that position forever.
True.
I'm telling you. True. If you're in a position, I tell people, if you're in a big position today, I want you to know that somebody was there before you, and the person is no longer there. So if you are there, please don't use your power illegally. Don't use your power illegally. I'm saying it. To Emefiele, congratulations for your release, and I hope, just like you said, because I have to, I'm going to ask this question. EFCC, hope you people are not going to pick him up immediately again, because just like you started the story, it's looking so frail and
older.
You understand? Let him breathe. We know he did us wrong. We don't say he do us something, but please let him breathe.
The oxygen will finish. The oxygen will finish. Let him breathe. That oxygen will finish. He's better. He's
not
better.
A forgiving spirit.
What is forgiving? No, let me tell you something. God Almighty is a forgiving God. But it doesn't mean that he will not punish you for that offense.
That's correct.
He will forgive you. God will forgive you, but you will still be punished for that offense. Sinner will go without punishment now.
Yes,
that is what. So if God can say that, see, let me tell you something. Godwin Emefiele, he had the best chance as a CBN governor of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to write his name with a golden pen. You know why? He was part of the administration of Goodluck Jonathan. He was part of the administration of Muhammadu Buhari from beginning to the end. And then, at least, he started the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current administration. Imagine somebody, Godwin Emefiele, experiencing at least, even if it was a day, you were in that administration. You had the chance. You see, from the very first moment, he had the mindset of contesting for the president of this country while he was still in the office, I knew he has gotten it wrong. That was where he misled himself. He shouldn't have, because the CBN Act is even against it. Now imagine somebody who is the head of the act acting against the act, and you said he said that you let him, the oxygen will finish. He said that you let him breathe. Breathe, Nibo. It can. Look at what he turned the country to during election. He allowed himself to be played by some selfish politicians. Emefiele gave us.
He himself is selfish. He's a politician as well, because he contested for the post of the president.
No, that's what the Constitution says. You should not address a CBN governor or a deputy CBN governor as a politician. They are professionals. They are not meant to be there. But yet we found it. He now gave us two currency. One was bleaching, one was not bleaching. He said we cannot withdraw more than 20,000 per day, and you went ahead to buy from of 100 million. And you were there telling us we cannot. He branded cars already in name of God in the Mayfield. And you came outside to lie, old man, to tell us it was some group of people that bought the fund, and you collected it. They bought fund for Jonathan. He rejected it.
Sorry, can we have the number displayed on the screen permanently? Permanently, please. The number displayed. We need people to call us and let us know.
Jonathan was tasted power. Jonathan was on. They unseated Jonathan, Buhari. Jonathan was even quick to call Buhari and say, "Congratulations, Your Excellency." One of the sitting presidents in the world,
well respected,
to admit defeat, because he doesn't want problem for himself and for the country. And yet he had the opportunity. Jonathan had the opportunity to contest in PDP primaries again, and he will win. And the people will bring him back, because they already compare his administration to Buhari administration, and they realize that we flew from fry pan to fire.
True.
You get? But he said no, he's not coming. He made us realize that power is not a do or die. It is a call to service. If you are tired of serving, look at what happened in Portugal. Their prime minister had to resign. Why? Because the chief of staff was named among some corrupt politicians, and it affected the prime minister. I imagine if something of such can ever happen in Nigeria or in Africa. That you will see one person ruling one country for 30-something years, one family ruling for 50-something years, and they will sit down there, and the Emefiele will say. So, when they released Bewa, when Bewa was released, I knew Emefiele, they would release him. I just knew Emefiele would be released, and now he has been granted, released on bail. He would have to go to court from his house and all. He should go and eat good food. I support he eat good food.
Why don't you want him to? Is it that you don't want him to be released? This
personal
vendetta.
Forever. Do you know how many people who lost their lives during that process?
I agree. I agree 100%.
We could not. Hey, Gagaba. You will see Yika Kenny will come to the studio and start begging for 200 naira. Even you remember one time you went to the bank.
Yeah, they gave me
5,000
naira. 50 naira notes.
Can you imagine?
And I didn't even have anything at
all.
home.
They render wealthy people useless during that period. You will have money and you can't withdraw.
Emefiele did a strong thing.
Honestly, but you see, I have a woman.
After many months, you see, another person will do more than Emefiele. He needs to be punished.
I have a woman on my right, and I have a man on my left.
Story?
It should not even be released at all. You see, that is why people in Nigeria believe they can do something and then they can go away with it, because at the long run, there are many politicians in Nigeria that by now they should not see daylight.
The light of day.
Okay, so are you saying what the judiciary did is wrong?
What
the court did is wrong?
The court will not place their judgment based on emotions. They will based on how your lawyers
on technicalities.
On technicalities, you understand? Yeah. And then they are not just basing it on technicality. As long as the constitution is in support of whatever thing they are doing, they will say according to, make references to.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show.
My name is Simeon, coming from Lagos.
Simeon.
From Lagos.
Which part of Lagos are you?
Yes.
Which part of Lagos?
Ojodu.
Ojodu. Okay, Simeon, go ahead and make your contribution. Hello, go ahead and we can hear you. Go ahead and make your contribution.
Let us get all the audience straight. Let us find why this man was arrested. want to face and be committed. They have that, not to politics or no politics. When they are arrested, what is are they committed? That's what they are going to fight. They want to realize. Not to whether in the position or not to be. Why was they arrested? Because they did not make money available for politicians to buy votes. That's what happened that period. You don't allow money to circulate so people can buy votes with money. That's what they are doing now. Politically, they do not allow money to roll out everywhere. They would have bought people with money. That's why the situation was very tough. If you check the people that won, 8 million, 6 million, 6 million, so you say that it's very good. People have no time to go buy votes. That's what happened in that period. And that's why they are arrested him now. So they know that people have not a chance to buy votes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Well, he's of the impression that that what is the actual reason? He believes that there's an undertone, kind of. We already have reasons that have been put out in the public space, but are these reasons genuine? He believes that the undertone is because Emefiele did not make funds available for politicians to buy votes. Therefore, it is a personal vendetta. So he implies, I don't know whether this is correct or incorrect. What do you think?
But according to the FCC, they are greeting Emefiele over alleged $15 billion foreign debt and new currency. Minimum.
Me, I'm not concerned about those figures of money. Emefiele should be arrested immediately. He contested. The ICPC and the DSS should arrest him with immediate effect. If that is the reason why he was arrested, I love it.
But listen, Rio, that's why the man is asking. You see, he believes that if there was a reason that can fly, a reason that that carries weight, with all of this, he believes that it's not genuine. Based on your own, based on what you have said, that's a good reason enough. That is something strong enough. If it is in the Constitution.
But the law you're talking about, are you sure it's not a new law?
What law?
That's why I said if it is in the Constitution.
It's never a new law. It is never a new
because
law.
I know someone proposed it of recent in the
if
House.
If it is in the Constitution.
That anybody that
It's in the CBN Act.
Okay.
You cannot do and see.
But you see, that was an opportunity that slipped by. If that opportunity came and it wasn't held on too strongly, and then something else was given, people are going to ask questions.
I would say something.
Yeah.
For somebody who is the CBN governor, having the mindset of he wants to contest.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
He can't hear the hello. Talk less of good morning.
Hello?
Hello? Okay.
There were some policies that were played during the election.
Yeah.
It seems to be in favor of some people and to work against some people.
Some people, yeah.
Yeah?
It seems to be work for some people and work against some people. Now, when your CBN governor now said he wants to contest for president, any policy, do you think he will bring out policy that will work against him first?
No.
One of the reasons why it should not happen.
Hello? Hello? Good morning. Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How are you? How was your night?
Very well, thank you. Yours?
Well done. We thank God.
Okay. Who are we speaking with?
My little question. Hello?
What's your name, sir, and where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Abuja.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make your contribution, Mohammed.
My contribution is that Nigeria will seem to be making mockery of our own laws. If a family is really guilty or has done something wrong, the authority shouldn't have kept its own lock. It is being said that nobody should be kept with more than 24 hours. Yeah. Also, and now this man has stayed for over getting to almost two months.
5 months, sir. 5 months. 5 months.
150
and
days.
then taken to court, and then if is bailable, they should bail him, and then he faces his own problem rather than keeping him behind the mask for so long. That's my contribution.
Very well spoken, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. Tessie.
You know, that's where EFCC lost it.
Yeah.
There is law. That's what I'm saying. You know, when I started
Because
analyzing,
DSS
I said,
not EFCC.
okay, the reason why EFCC said is has not been in their custody for 150 days because they argued it with the courts. But even if you look at the EFCC, do you want to tell me they've not kept this man for 1 month or for 100 days? I think they claimed 100 days. They said not 150 days. You see, that is where they lost it. The reason I say they are acting like demigod, they are acting like teen god. We have rules of law guiding everybody in this country.
But there
are laws. Why should we be kept without being charged?
That is the problem. The problem is that the rule of law is not respected.
It's not
Do you
respected.
understand?
If they were approaching the court for a remand, yes, you cannot keep somebody without charging them. But at the same time, if you need to keep somebody to make a proper investigation, you approach the court. Most of these agencies that we talk about, they have their legal team.
And somebody needs to tell. That won the court yesterday. Did you read? You read the proceeding?
No, I didn't.
They did not argue it. The only thing they argued was they did not keep MFLA for 150 days, but they kept it maybe for 100 days. I saw it somewhere. Why didn't they argue with the court that we've been approaching the courts that we want to come to court, but the court has not been giving us listening here, or there's no time, or they said there's no section, or whatever their terminology is. That is where they lost it. Reason they said in courts yesterday that they are not here to argue.
And the
they
point
just spelled it out.
Yeah,
they are not here to argue whether this is right or this is wrong. They are here to let him go because they have law. He has been kept in custody for 150 days without being charged.
And that's wrong. When then if you actually have something you're charging him for, why did it have to last that long?
It got to a point yesterday, CFCC and the customary court, or what do they call them? The court warder, they were fighting for Emefiele.
And you see, it just belittles us as a country, belittles our leadership, belittles the judiciary. If the rule of law is not respected, I mean, how do you think the outside world will be looking at us?
I do not think I want to agree that he was not being charged. He was being charged, but cases were always being adjourned. And yet, he was being kept in the custody of the DSS.
They should have granted him bail.
Maybe we would have talked about granting him
bail. They personalized it so much that they even started fighting physically. Within the court premises for Emefiele.
I'm still going to stand on my points that yes,
that's so wrong and so embarrassing.
Why did not EFCC challenge the courts that they have been bringing him to court and the case has been adjourned?
It wasn't the EFCC that was in the case at first.
But he has been kept under EFCC for how many months? Okay, let's forget 100
But the EFCC has taken over. EFCC took over him for a while.
But why EFCC taking over? Why EFCC took over him? EFCC to need time for their own investigation, for their own interrogation together with him. And I can tell you, Emefiele is not the first person that will be in detention that long, that cases were not being done.
But so are you saying they should then put the law aside? They should then put the law aside and come up with rules, their own made rules, and we should put the law aside and follow their rules. That's what you're saying. Because if we have the law and we have these things written down that we need to follow, and we're not following these things, then that's wrong.
I understand the rule of law.
They are losing it.
And no, I'm not saying
they are not losing. They have lost it.
They are losing it.
I'm not here
because
to.
Everybody was against Emefiele before. But look at the way they played it.
No.
Now people are now even asking them, why did they arrest him? Obviously, we all knew why he was arrested.
No.
People are now asking questions. Why has he been kept in custody for over 30 days? Okay, for over 24 hours. Let's forget about it.
Let's hear you. Let's hear.
When people were against Emefiele, he had the people that was with him.
Can you please face the camera? Why are you facing Tessie?
No, because I like it when we are having like eye to eye contact.
Are you going to jump over me?
No, I'm telling you, do you know as much as people complain bitterly about the late General Sonny Abacha, he still had some loyalists up till now, even while he's not alive.
No, you see.
So if anybody had called and said no, white, you will still see people that will still like me. I'm not even in support that it should be released now. No cap. So I know some people are like me too. Some businesses actually went down.
I know.
Because
I
of
feel your
pain. Look, real.
So as long as
because I was saying that
let's hear what he wants to say before we can.
This matter there's no justice for the people yet. Yes, somebody saying what are you charging him for? Yes, the DSS are not even coming outside because I wasn't even expecting that it would be DSS that would kept him that long. I was taking the EFCC, the ICPC, the people who are, who are trying to arrest financial fraudsters. I was expecting them, but when the DSS came in, then you realize that Emefiele was charged to have been financing and sponsoring some insurgency in Nigeria. And once it comes to something that is disturbing the peace of the national security, is a big offense.
Question: how come they charged him when all of this had happened? Did they not know he had been doing that?
Another thing
prior to that time. Why is it when the new government took over?
Thank you. Another thing is the former Minister of Justice in Nigeria. I'm trying to remember his name now. That man who came from Kebbi. Trying to remember, former Minister of Justice came out on the national television, on newspapers, to tell us that almost, I think 99 or 98 companies are sponsoring insurgency in Nigeria. These are companies that we patronize and we help them to make money. And Oga mentioned the name of this person to us. They have refused to mention. They said there are some foreign companies too that produce, products that Nigerians patronize every minute. And yet he did not mention their name for us. So I can tell you, the administration of His Excellency, former President Muhammadu Buhari, has a lot to explain to Nigerians. Because there are many things they will come out to tell us that this is it. So if Emefiele was not investigated during the time of Buhari, if Emefiele was, it's a normal thing that when new administration comes in power, you need to perhaps investigate, even if you are in the same party. So I can tell you for a fact that probably the only reason why Buhari was not thoroughly investigated or they've been asking him for questioning or they have called the former ministers is because they are in the same political party, which is normal thing that they want to cover for themselves. Example is, look at what Aregbe Chola could not do for 8 years. A young man who has never been a governor or a minister before was able to do it for 2 weeks. And I can tell you that the Buhari administration even needs to be interrogated. So if they have not asked Emefiele anything, number one, it was the CBN governor. And I don't know what sort or what kind of agreement they had together on that. So if he was not investigated, it could have been like the covering up of the former president, Buhari, because he would be the one to sign. The day Emefiele was arrested, it was with Tinubu at first. It was after the meeting they arrested him.
Now, Rio, I feel your pain. It's not that I feel your pain. I felt the pain. We all went through this thing, and honestly, no doubt it was not funny. And honestly, I remember people rained a lot of curses on Emefiele at the time.
Maybe it's the cost now that is now.
But the truth is real. The truth is that I kind of feel this personal vendetta because you said justice for the people. Look, people do the wrong things on a per second basis in this country, and they get away with it.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And yes, when the law catches up with you, you get punished and you face the long arm of the law. So we want to act under the law, and we're saying the law has not it has not first of all been respected, because we have the law written down in black and white, and we have not followed it. People have come up with all kinds of things, and they're working according to that. Lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria of great repute have come out and said this is what the law says and we are not going by it, and nothing was done about it. Absolutely nothing was done about it. And some people are saying, oh yes, he needs to be punished. Yes, he needs to be punished, but I think he needs to be punished and we need to work within the law. We have not done that. We have not done that. Yes. And that's where we've missed it. We have not done that. Rio, I feel your pain. I didn't like what he did. But you see, sometimes even in court they say pamper justice with mercy. Don't they say that?
Yeah. No,
but we're not saying that. We're not saying that in this case. We're not saying that in this case. I'm just saying that there are terminologies like that in law. But in this case, we're not saying tamper justice with mercy. We are only saying respect the rule of law and do what the law says.
But we keep even shouting Emefiele during this Naira scarcity. A president was on seat.
Exactly. There was a leader. And he didn't do anything. So he should be brought. He should be equally brought to book.
The only one. That deserve to be used. That's it.
Yeah, but he did it in conjunction with someone.
They're hiding some things from the public, because this whole Emefiele case is becoming fishy for me. I'm telling you,
it might just be one of the reasons why he had to last that long.
EFCC has been in EFCC for how many days now, and they are not saying anything.
Boy
And all that.
Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts.
They will scout for him.
And honestly, I think that even the past president should be asked questions. He should be interrogated.
So did the past president ask the former president Jonathan questions?
We cannot continue to live in like
I'm just saying. It looks like they're always
hear me out. They tell us that they're coming to put, give us put the things that were not in place. They're bringing us a change. They're bringing us an air of relief. Even the president himself said, let us breathe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let us breathe. In breathing, we need things to be done the right way. In breathing, we need our demands to be met, such that our needs, we're not even saying our wants, our needs, we need them to be met. The primary things of life, food, clothing, and shelter, we all know these things, but nothing has happened. So, I mean, if you came to perfect what you saw that were imperfections, we expect it from you. We didn't expect too much from the last president, did we?
From the last president. I feel like he was the...
He was supposed to be the Messiah, but he didn't do what he was expected to do.
I wanted to say that I expected too much from him.
We expected too much from him. He was supposed to be the Messiah, but he didn't perform.
Actually, people believe, because that was when Boko Haram were rampant and insecurity, insurgency. Oh, we believe this man was a military man. He came in 1983. He was a military head of state. 30 years after, leaders of tomorrow. Old people are the leaders of tomorrow in Nigeria. I'm telling you now that I'm leader of today. Tomorrow is not promised in Nigeria. See, the leader of tomorrow, there are still old people that are coming back. But we expected too much from Buhari.
Recycling.
We were
Recycling,
They're recycling them.
We're recycling. Yes, we are recycling them. It's unfortunate.
Said he has not retired. He's coming back 2027. I will not talk now, but we meet there.
You and who? You and Atiku?
Honestly speaking.
Okay. Are you going to come out to run for?
No, you won't let me, because I don't know if people love you that much. Since 1991, 1992, you should have become president of this country.
Okay. Let's see how it unfolds. I've always said Nigeria is like is drama unfolding on a daily basis. So let's just see as it unfolds. By the time we get to, when is it, 2020?
But I can tell you that people are not still smiling. You see, when he left court, people, he was being booed. People booed him while he was leaving court, and they were shouting, thief.
Why he was leaving?
People will not forget, Nigerians will not forget.
We are still
because during that time, I'm telling you,
different currency. We are still spending old 500, new 500, old one. And you are saying
if they left him, they would have mobbed him. They would have mobbed him immediately.
I'm telling you.
If they left them.
You are saying the economy is bad. We have two currencies, two different types of currencies in Nigeria.
Okay, it's the Bumper Breakfast Show. I think we should breathe. Let's take a very short break and come back for the next topic. Please stay tuned.
So we get another host.
You're welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. A lot of things.
What is the name of the old DJ today?
Welcome back. But we want to breathe. OD, you need to go on another break.
Show is gonna be between you and her. After the
you are the Emefiele after this. Thank God you have white beard.
We need to breathe. Okay, well, we're back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. Let's just look at the next topic. It says all denominations of old Naira notes remain legal tender, and that's from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria has reiterated that all denominations of the banknotes that have been issued remain legal tender and should not be rejected by anyone as stipulated in Section 25 of the CBN Act of 2007. Also, the Apex restated that there are sufficient banknotes across the country for all normal economic activity, stressing that every banknote issued by the CBN remains a legal tender. The bank said it has directed all its branches across the country to continue to issue different denominations of old and redesigned banknotes in adequate quantities to deposit money banks for forward circulation to bank customers. The CBN highlighted this due to reports of anxiety among some members of the public over the legality or otherwise of old Naira banknotes. It advised members of the public to accept all CBN-issued banknotes currently in circulation and guard against panic withdrawals, and reaffirm that there is sufficient stock of currency notes to facilitate normal economic activities. However, the Apex Bank urged members of the public to continue to embrace alternative modes of payment in order to reduce the pressure on the use of physical cash. Dr. Isa Abdul Mumun, Director Corporate Communications of the Central Bank of Nigeria, in a statement on Wednesday said, "Our attention has again been drawn to reports of a scarcity of cash across some major cities in the country, despite assurance of sufficient cash stocks in all locations across the country. There have been reports of anxiety among some members of the public over the legality or otherwise of the old Naira banknotes. For the avoidance of doubt, while reiterating that there are sufficient banknotes across the country in all normal economic activity, we wish to state unambiguously that every banknote issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria remains legal tender and should not be rejected by anyone as stipulated in Section 25 of the CBN Act 2007. Accordingly, branches of the CBN across the country have been directed to continue to issue different denominations of old and redesigned bank notes in adequate quantity to deposit money for onward circulation to bank customers. We wish to restate that all denominations of the banknotes issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria remain legal tender in line with Section 2005 of the CBN Act 2007. No one should refuse to accept the Naira as a means of payment. Consequently, members of the public are advised to accept all CBN-issued banknotes currently in circulation and guard against panic withdrawal. We reaffirm that there is sufficient stock for currency notes to facilitate normal economic activities. Well, that's the meat of the story. I think there's some panic, within the system. I didn't feel that pulse at all.
I don't think it's in Lagos State.
I don't think it's in Lagos State. I don't think so, because I didn't feel that pulse at all.
People are collecting old notes and they are collecting new notes in Lagos State here. But what I want to say is, don't start again. When the president said,
when there's no panic, we create it.
You people started panic buying again. Then the price of fuel went up immediately. And this time around, I don't know what is happening. I don't know where the rumor is coming from. I don't know. I think I read that story somewhere. It's not happening in Lagos State here, but it's in some state. All Naira notes still remain legal tender, both old notes and new notes. Please stop panicking. Stop panicking. And POS people, warn yourself. Because you people should be arrested with a Emefiele.
Honestly,
I'm telling you,
like my
the people
word.
that operated POS during the time of Naira scarcity, please, we can't survive it again if that should happen in this country. To those who are panic buying, please go and calm down. Learn to be calming down. And to those again who are rejecting notes, old note, new note. You want new note, Abi? A word is enough for the wise. I think in the states that this are happening, they should let the uniform men, they should put them out. They should be everywhere and see where it's happening. Everybody caught in the act should be arrested immediately.
Should be seriously dealt with for that matter, because we can't go through that kind of thing.
No, we should not. They should not even start.
It's not funny.
They should not bring it
on. Can we have the numbers displayed on the screen as well, please?
They should not bring it on.
You know, Nigerians are quick to panic on information that they have not verified.
Yeah, we need to know. Perhaps we'll get a caller from the states where this is happening, but I haven't seen this happen in Lagos State.
Some people will just come and tell you, this is happening. They are no longer collecting this note in the market. Before you know, this one will stop collecting the old note. This one will stop spending the old note. And but now they've told you. Yeah. You know, I was just trying to read up, what Falana say about, our Emefiele, because regardless is a Nigerian is still our own, no matter what, And I realized that he would have resigned, before he contested that time. But contesting while he was the governor of the CBN was totally wrong. But whichever way, Nigerians go outside and spend your double money. You have 200 naira
exactly.
notes in Nigeria.
1,000 naira notes, 500 naira notes.
So just go outside.
Do we have 100 new 100 naira?
No, we don't have
just
100
200, 500.
I get confused between the 100 naira, old 100 naira, and the new 200 naira.
The 200 naira and the old 500 naira looks alike somehow. I don't know.
No, the 200 naira.
The new 200 naira and the old 500 naira.
100 naira.
No, I think it's the 200 and the 100.
And the 200, 100 and 500 also look alike somehow.
Now you have to look at your money twice before you give it to whoever, especially if I give
yes,
it
of
to.
course.
I've actually accused someone. I said, my change is not complete. He said, it's complete. I said, no. Because I was thinking that
Give you 100 naira. I realized that it was 200.
it was 200 later.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's something else. Please join us on the program. The number is displayed on the screen. We want to hear from you. Let's feel your pulse. We've often accused government, of not feeling the pulse of the people. We want to feel your pulse so that we can disseminate that information to the appropriate quarters. So please call us, as we go along. It is the Bumper Breakfast Show. The next topic, no voters in 40 Imo Bayelsa polling units. And that's from INEC.
We have to look at this coming election on Saturday because today is the last time we can talk about it.
Yes.
Because 24 hours prior to election.
Yes, we can't talk about it anymore. Yes.
And 3 states are going to be polled on Saturday. We have the Imo State,
we have
State,
and Bayelsa.
Yeah. And they have strong candidates.
Yes.
The SDP and the Kogi State, Yahaya Bello has his own preferred candidate. And this SDP guy, he's not taking it easy
at all.
Any little thing they run to the media, they want to make everything public. Even of recent, he was accused of killing a lady, that his people kidnapped the lady or stuff like that. But he denied it. He said there's nothing like that. And when we look at Uzodinma again, he's facing problem. Labour Party, they should allow Uzodinma to breathe. There is a paper here that I saw that NLC strike failed to hold in Imo. Because they promised to hold the strike. Well, we've been talking about it.
This thing is just so inconsequential. Nobody should pay it any mind. They shouldn't pay these NLC people any mind. They're just a bunch of jokers.
And Bayelsa, I believe Bayelsa is peaceful.
They should go to the circus.
I believe Imo is hot, and Kogi State is hot, and Bayelsa is peaceful. I stand to be corrected.
Bayelsa is always hot.
I think Bayelsa is not.
Bayelsa is hot.
Bayelsa is hot, very hot.
I saw the final of Jimmy Presiva, and the crowd was, I cannot say amazing, but it's funny. And then you need to see Duroye Diri looks like, he was not initially the winner of the last election. It was because Leon's deputy governor had a mistake, an error, and just 24 hours to, swearing in as the governor, they nullified the election by the Supreme Court. And they called Duroye Diri 24 hours, to swearing in Leon and say, Oga, that guy, APC, not be you now. They say that you will be governor tomorrow. So you can imagine somebody just 24 hours and then. So it seems like he already gave up so many things he was supposed to do, and realizing that Dixon will hand over to Leon. And unfortunately, Dixon of PDP handed over to Duroye Diri. And now Jimmy Presiva was one time a governor in Bayelsa. It was one time, I think he contested second time and he lost. And then he became a senator or thereabout before he was given ministerial appointment. And now he's back here, and then it's like the people are saying, come and continue what you started, come and correct the mistake the PDP has been having. But let's just see what will happen, because I believe it's always difficult when there is incumbent and you want to take over power. In Imo and in Bayelsa, you have incumbent governors already. but in Kogi State, they are going to have a fresh governor in Kogi State. You know, so that's why Kogi might seems to be very, very tough. You know, Yaya Bello had issue with is it Utuakan, that lady that appeal court now just said she won the election, the senator. And Yaya Bello is stylishly trying to relate with that woman by sending a congratulatory message. And the woman said on the national television that, see, you would have just, not said anything about congratulating me because you tried to kill me during the election. So it will be very tough. Election in Kogi State. Kogi State are battling with insecurity too.
But why don't we look at the low turnout of the voters? Are we sure people are going to have high turnout of people?
Some polling units don't even have any
they don't
have any voters.
Because less than 30%
a couple of
less than 30% of registered voters will decide Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa.
And I think that's what Nigerians should understand.
And we keep complaining that the government is not good. You don't want this governor again.
They don't have their voters card. Okay, so much for that. Let's take a break on the Bumper Breakfast Show. We're not going anywhere, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Ekolowa Oyibo, Oyibo, why you speaking Oyibo? Oyibo, you dey Lagos Oyibo. If I carry you go banana, my guy, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go to Elegushi, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go Niru, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for looking. You cannot deny, you no see. Fada kérésì làwọn tèmi ṣá, ọmọ wọn kérésì wọlé bá. Kó dùn kó pọ̀ kó pẹ́ làwọn tèmi ṣá, ìtẹ̀síwájú Èkó làwọn tèmi wá. E never finish, ọlọ́pàá don get new motor. E never finish, èyí tẹ̀rí yẹ ó ti pọ̀ tó. Òyìnbó, Èkó ló wá òyìnbó. Òyìnbó, why you speaking òyìnbó? Òyìnbó, you dey Lagos òyìnbó. If I carry you go Ìkẹjà, my guy, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go Badagry, my guy, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go to Lagos Island, you go love Lagos o. Èlé jábọ́, èlé tìkọ́, èlé bàjẹ́ náà. Central of excellence lẹ́wà in case you don't know. Bíjayé, ní Malé, níjayé, níbẹ̀lẹ̀, bíjayé, káàkiri tó bá sún mi má lọlé. Riding through my city, hustle in my city, made it in my city, God bless my city. Òyìnbó, Èkó ló wá òyìnbó. Òyìnbó, why you speaking òyìnbó? Òyìnbó, you dey Lagos òyìnbó. If I carry you go Korodu, my guy, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go to Ẹ̀pẹ́, my guy, you go love Lagos o. If I carry you go VGC, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for looking. You cannot deny, you don't see. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for looking. You cannot deny, you don't see.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. This is a time for us not to read the headlines to you from the newspapers, but to review the newspapers. And we have that much time on the Bumper Breakfast Show this morning. But we are mindful because we have Alaja Dabiri waiting to do our Zobia so that she will not kill us. All right, so Bumper Breakfast Show newspaper review. I'll start with the Nation newspaper. Survey projects Uzodima's victory with 68%. Raw rocks opposition. Newspaper of the year: Emefiele out of custody after securing bail. Banker wooed in court. Old new Naira notes remain legal tender, CBN reaffirms. So you can find that story on page 5. Bandits took 250 million ransom to free 121 Baptist school pupils. Wow. Senate House agreement raises student loan to 10 billion. Yacht item dropped as President signs 2.17 trillion supplementary budget. Senate launches probe. NLC strike fails to hold in Imo. Office open, airport in operation, power cut enters day 7. Power minister threatens discos, Gencos with license revocation. And finally, budget. 26 contractors bolt away with 8.6 billion mobilization cash. That's it from the Nation newspaper this morning. We will go to The Guardian to see what he has to say.
The Guardian newspaper: inflation, forex exchange, many tariffs compound Nigeria's trade woes. EFCC arrasts 11 OAU students for internet fraud.
Can we discuss that?
Knocks Tinubu signs 2.1 trillion naira supplementary budget. That's the Guardian newspaper. Off-cycle polls: Kuka tax INEC on transparency as candidates sign peace accord. Opuzodima did not attend this peace accord yesterday.
Labour Party did not.
Labour Party
APGA
did not
did
attend.
not.
APGA
NNPP did not.
NNPP did not. I'm telling you, even the sitting governor, who would have set a good example, did not attend. I don't want to believe what is being said about Opuzodima. I don't want to say it that way. I don't want to say it because if you go to Labour NLC page on Twitter, what they're saying about Uzodima is nothing to write home about.
I feel this current NLC are politically motivated.
They're politically motivated because when I visited their page yesterday, I saw everything they did about Opuzodima. Their target mainly was Opuzodima, not for the people. They are not talking about the people again. They went there for the people, but now they are talking about Opuzodima.
Well, they should continue. That's all we can say.
Continue.
Okay. Aviation unions shun Imo-bound flight, declare Uzodima persona non grata. NPAN, the price rising hardship, urges Tinubu to engage media stakeholders. LASU suspend claim Dean over certificate racketeering as Senate probes fraudulent admissions. Federal government probes extensions of discos, licenses, Fort Power privatization. Those are the stories that made it to the Guardian newspaper this morning.
You mentioned something about 11 students.
Yes, and I think we should discuss that because we are reviewing this time.
Yes,
we are reviewing, yeah.
They attacked
The campus, and I know you have a passion for
when
because
OAU,
that's your school.
Obafemi
Obafemi University.
They did not enter the school. The hostel was outside the school.
Outside the school,
Okay.
yes. I think someone told me that.
When those people came in and they packed about 69 students, number one, they are no witch, they are no wizard. Somebody must have given that information.
The tip was a tip off.
Yeah, it was a tip off. Or maybe their lifestyle in the hostel.
It's
not a must that someone give them, because you see something about these G guys, as they call them. They live this flamboyant lifestyle that they are easy to know that no, this is not legit.
One thing about them is they are forgetting that EFCC are human too.
Yeah.
I was one time at a club with my friends. The EFCC were there. And the man said, I did not come to spy or to, I'm human too. I want to have fun. I want to dance and drink too. I don't care about whatever. And to be sincere, it was peaceful till left. But who knows? Maybe you already marked faces. Sometimes they work like CID. They walk without, they don't wear their uniform, they relate with people, they play, they ask you for stuff, for information. So when those people came and the part 69%, I definitely know, of course, certainly, that all you students will protest, one. And I know that 69 of them cannot be Yahoo boys. There will be people who are friends to Yahoo. See, if you call 100 youths out now, everyone in that 100 youth has one Yahoo friend.
True.
Either the Yahoo friend is rich or is not rich. Everyone, except if you don't know that friend is doing Yahoo. Yahoo is like one rampant thing that is happening.
It's like pure water.
You will see. I was one time in a bank, and a fine guy could not write his name on a teller.
Wow.
A Yahoo boy. Then you ask, how are you even doing your own style of Yahoo? Now you see ritualists hiding under the name of Yahoo boy. And you ask them, what is even the Yahoo?
No, they call those ones, they call them
Yahoo plus.
They still end up as Giga. So after checks, 11 persons were still there. Now the question is, they found these 11 persons guilty. Now, do you want to blame that they have gone to that place to raid? Now somebody like me, I'm pained and I'm bitter. Not because they arrested somebody or because they did not. But because the Yahoo boy has actually blocked so many ways for the legit people. Now they make people like us look like we are not working. How many people did I want to tell that, I read overnight, I would have woken up by 4:30 because my taxi driver will carry me by 5 a.m. and I'm already in the studio shouting, waiting the shell because you want to pass information. And somebody at the same time when I'm reading, that person
on his laptop.
Is on the laptop, defrauding the white, and the white are painting, Nigerians black. You can imagine you meeting somebody abroad and in just 30 minutes they block you off because they don't even trust you. You feel like this.
But it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. I mean, the people who get caught are also, part of it. They are part of the process. They are part of the process. It's part of the greed. I mean,
I'm trying to understand what the point you're trying to make.
I mean, well, how do they defraud them?
Okay.
Don't they?
Those whites.
Yes.
How they defraud them.
What do they tell them?
Most times, relationship, romantic lifestyle. I want to marry you. It's always coming from that angle. Aside from those who want to come and do business here, I know because there are a lot of cases like that. But why?
I'm not trying to support the students that have been arrested, even though they've been admitted on bail. I'm not trying to support them. But when we look at the situation of things, sometimes
in the country,
I'm telling you, you'll be pushed. You'll be forced to do what you don't want to do. Oppression. There's something called oppression.
Do you know some of these students fend for their parents?
I'm telling you, some of the students,
we are in an era where children are parenting their parents.
Thank you.
It's a shame.
Some of the students in school, they can't pay their school fees and they want to read.
They even have Yahoo Boys Mothers Association.
Okay. And you see some ladies, that is why some ladies go into prostitution. But the guys will go into Yahoo. There's nothing we can do that we can eradicate Yahoo boys in this economy, in this country.
You can't eradicate
and prostitutes can never be eradicated in any country.
That is a daily basis.
I'm telling you, because of what people are facing, because of what people are passing through. I had a story of someone one day, and I asked myself this question. I said, do people live like this? When you see the situation of some people, some of those boys, if you look at the situation, if you look at the home they come out from, they don't want to steal, they don't want to rob, and all they do is this.
They don't have a choice.
It takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango.
If you're a white man or a white woman and you're selfish and you're greedy, you will fall into their trap.
Precisely.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I'm not saying I'm good. But I can tell you categorically that before someone will scam me, it will take time.
Okay, let me use myself as a typical example. I'm ashamed, but I'll say it anyway. I've been scammed once. Now, well, whatever you call it, I guess he's Yahoo in his own way. I love dogs. I have dogs. So I was looking for another boabo. This guy, I went on to one of the platforms, and I saw this guy had some boab, and I looked at the prices of the boabos, but this guy's own was really cheap, and I'm like, so I called the number, and I asked him. I said, you have a boabo puppy? He said yes, and I said, how much does it cost? He told me the price I saw on the platform. on the app. So he said, so I said, that where are you? He said he's in Ondo State or Ekiti or something like that. I said, so why is your Boabu going for that price? He said he's about to relocate, and so he wants to get rid of all the puppies. And he had this. But the truth is, I was looking for best bargains. You understand? That's why I fell victim. So he said I needed to say. I said, I don't know you. I can't send you all the money, but just so that you can keep the puppy for me. I sent him 10,000 so that he knows that I'm serious. And he said, okay, he'll be on his way, blah, 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 and everything. He even gave me a place to go and meet him. I went with someone. This guy who didn't come, he never even left Ondo State. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say it takes two to tango, I was looking for best bargains, and the truth is I was actually greedy. So that's why I felt it. I wanted
something cheaper,
and I know what it goes for. So that's it. That's why I said it takes two to tango.
You see, the only place where I'm coming from a bit aside is if the EFCC can at the same time put the same energy on some politicians who are supposed to make provision for employment opportunity, and instead they are making it to finance their own and to increase their own pocket. If they can go with the same energy, probably we won't have issue, because the same way the white or the Western countries are painting Nigeria black because some of our boys are fraudsters or our ladies are fraudsters, is the same way they are looking at our politicians on how they there are different type of thieves. There are thieves that forcefully take it from you, and there are thieves that just add zero to your budget, and before you know, you have 2.something trillion on that place. Zero is a very big number. People really don't understand.
Zero can make all the difference.
Zero is the biggest number in the world, but you won't know until when they show you. When they show. But now I'm just saying, the same way the EFCC went overnight to raid is wrong. Like nobody will say
EFCC raised like a thief.
Yes, it's very wrong. They even broke some people's door.
That comes to the night to steal.
You're putting trauma in some students like this now.
They need to be sued for that.
So, and the current chairman now already banned them.
He banned them.
Yes, I think it was
after this incident. They banned them.
Nobody should go for. So if you check from the side of EFCC, some parts they did the right thing. If you check from another part, they were wrong. You check the student too, some parts you say them. So when people always tell me, if you know what people are facing, even as we are seated here, they see we had offers to do things that were not right and that are not right, but we just choose what we have chosen.
Because life is a choice.
Life is a choice, yeah.
Life is a choice.
You understand?
Either you go the good way or you go the bad way.
So everybody always have that option. You know what is trending now? The gays, the lesbian.
Well, the Yorubas say, Bibire koshe fowora.
Yes.
You always want to look back to where you're coming from. There are certain things you just would not do because you just can't do them. Not that you don't know that these things exist. It's getting, what you just mentioned, jelenkedi like that, just lightly like that, is a whole lot. Is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Now they've started to sell cartoons, use cartoons for small children to say that I would send you some of these things to say that it's actually right to do.
Yeah. In some schools. In some schools.
In
some schools in the West.
And they're saying that hell is false. There's nothing like hell. I'll send you some of these cartoons.
You have the right to become who you want to be.
Yes.
So God does not know what you will do.
Yes.
So we've got.
And now you can even sleep with animals.
I watched one where the dad was asking her. I think it was a movie, and the father asked her rather that, what is your
gender?
Thank you. What's your gender? And he said, I'm not sure, I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't know yet. Once I'm done thinking about it, I'll tell you.
African
but for now, I'm not.
You
tell my mom you don't know, maybe you are she.
African parents.
You know what I asked someone. I said, okay, now that they're advocating that human beings can sleep with animals, I said, when a human being sleeps, an animal sleeps with a human being, and the human being conceives, what does a human being bring forth? The person answered me, said, beast. And that was the only explanation that was right.
What else did they
a beast. You just think of the decadence in the world.
Is the reason there is no rest in the world.
It's just getting worse on a per second basis.
You just talked about a movie that somebody wants to be like a god, and he was given the chance to be god for 25
God,
hours.
I don't even know for how many
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
He ran mad.
Yes.
There was the time he granted everybody's request.
And there was
And there was
chaos and
everywhere.
confusion.
There will be.
He was telling God to please take it away from him.
Yeah.
I don't need it again.
There
Yes,
will be.
I've forgotten the
I
title
told
of that
somebody
thing.
one time, Tom, I said, do you know God hears all prayers?
True.
But he doesn't answer all prayers.
No, God,
Because
God,
sometimes you are asking the wrong thing from God. He knows you are, so he hears the prayer. He don't just want to answer because he knows the wrong thing. Anyways, I'm not here to preach. I will just go with the newspaper.
Nigerian Tribune.
All right, quickly let me take you through the stories, lucky stories rather, that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. This morning. The banner headline Nigerian Tribune this morning: Peace Accord 4 of session polls. Seriousness, commitment of candidates in doubt, Abdul Salami says. Expect them to obey rules, honor accord, ensure free fair polls. Comments INEC for adequate preparation. NSCDC deploys 22,600 personnel to Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa. FRSC deploys 4,500 personnel, while 137,973 party agents to participate in polls, says INEC. After 151 days in detention, court admits Emefiele's bail. Afenifere criticized NAS over purchase of 160 million SUV for lawmakers. Other stories: why we cannot increase electricity tariff now, says federal government. Olubadan, Ladoja, Ibadan Obas hold advisory council meeting. Abieno grudge against anybody, says Ladoja. Explain why he challenged Makinde orders in court. And final stories on the Nigerian Tribune front page. Tinubu signs 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget, 30% for defense and security, 35% dedicated to the provision of crucial infrastructure to be allocated to works, FCT, housing, and urban development. Those are the lucky stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
And we'll look at the Punch newspaper. $51 billion debt. Federal government rules dwindling revenue. Reps condemn needless loan contracts. NPAN returns Kabiru as president. Emuwa joins EXCO. Electronic collation illegal, says INEC. Police warn NLC, and the riders are: INEC says IREV not for result collation. Labour leaders advised against intimidating voters. Uzodima, others absent at peace accord. Diri Silva clash, Imo workers bank shun strike. Obi faults Tinubu's 2.17 trillion supplementary budget. Old banknote remains legal tender, says CBN. UK police probe suicide of British-born Nigerian. And finally, federal government stops electricity tariff hike, insists on subsidy. Well, I think that's a good one, the tariff strike, these are the kind of things we're talking about, like try to cushion the effect of the suffering of the people, palliatives is not what we're asking for. Subsidize electricity, subsidize food, subsidize, the needs, we're not even talking about the wants. Yes, the immediate needs. These things are clearly spelled out. A man who doesn't have accommodation is in trouble. A man who can't feed is in trouble. A man who can't clothe, of course you will call the person a madman. Perhaps he doesn't even have anything to wear. These are the things we're asking the government to look at and, give us some sort of cushion effect. And are we asking for too much? If you ask me, I don't think we are. I mean, these are the kind of things that are done in other countries. I'm not saying any country is perfect, but I'm saying that, if we're bringing in a change, we're bringing in hope, we must come with these things. And we must have an ear to the ground. We must listen to the people, having said that, we're not saying that human beings, our wants are endless. But when you're in a leadership position, you can discern, what exactly it is you need to attend to, such that the masses do not suffer. I think another thing we should look at is the UK probe. The UK probe suicide British-born Nigerian. Do you know? Did you hear about that story? Did you hear about the story?
UK probe.
The UK police, they are probing suicide of a British-born Nigerian. But this thing is quite rampant. Suicide is rampant in the world. Not only, but Nigeria is fast catching on, and I just think it's because of the economic situation in the country. Because we were a people rather that did not believe in this kind of thing. Suicide was never an option.
In those days, they would say
yeah, but it wasn't common.
Up to now, too, I still feel some things can be spiritual. See, we are in the spiritual world.
It's a lot of depression.
Let me
actually
tell you a story. In those days, in our grandparents' days, during their time, that they do have children and the children do die, and they will say it's a but we are now realizing
sickle cell most likely.
Sickle cell.
Yeah, sickle cell most likely.
You understand? So most of these things that they say is spiritual. I'm not saying there's no spirituality. There is. But I'm telling you, some of these things are not spiritual. Suicide is never an option.
It shouldn't be an option.
Preach it to everybody.
But when one is in a depressed state.
If you are depressed, look for somebody to talk to. And I want to advise people, please, when people talk to you, don't mock them. Don't laugh at them. In fact, give them a listening ear. Because some people are scared to speak out because they don't know what you're going to tell
what your reaction will be.
They don't know. They don't know maybe you're going to spread their secret. Someone will tell you, I have a secret, I want to share my secret with you. They share their secret with you, and at the end of the day, you start laughing at them, and you share the secret with somebody else, and somebody else will go and meet the person that, look at what you told her, she told me, and they were all laughing at you. It kills them.
Yeah.
How many people have you killed with your mouth?
True.
Do you think until you squeeze people, until you
shoot
people,
or cut their necks,
until you cut their necks before you kill them? No. Some of you have killed many people. You've sent many people to their grave, early grave, with the words of your mouth, with your attitude. When people do not greet you, I say it, someone that greets you before, and all of a sudden the person stopped greeting, you don't have to say, if she did not greet me, I will not greet her. If she did not talk to me, I will not talk to her. Please, we pass that era. You don't know the demon that person is fighting. Because people have demons they are fighting, but they don't. Some people, something is wrong with them, they don't even know how to explain it.
True.
They can't explain themselves. When you see people that are moody, please call them and talk to them. We never can tell the next step they want to take.
We're actually living in an era where we should pick up our phones from time to time to check up on people who we have not heard from for a long time and who are dear to us. I think that's of great importance. It's actually a need. You never can tell. You may be that last ray of hope for the person. That call may be a call at the nick of time to save that person's life. Perhaps the person was looking for someone to talk to. Perhaps the person was looking for a solution to the problem. And just that call and your soothing words would do the magic. So, this is a time where we should be our brother's keeper, if you ask me. And you can never get enough of doing that, People will say, who cares about me? Why should I be? Well, it's not about, that everything we do on earth is being recorded for us, either for us or against us. So let's try and do the right thing. Look at Emefiele. We just talked about him. When we were suffering on this table, we didn't even have money. I remember that day very clearly. I went to the bank manager. I said, we patronize you in this bank. And we you need to do something. He said, okay, come. I went there. He said, but I can only get you 5,000 though. In 50 naira notes. And I didn't have any food at home. I'm not kidding you. It was not funny at the time. And I came to the office and I saw my colleagues didn't even have food to eat as well. Out of that 5,000 naira that I collected, I had to share with them.
I don't even know why we're forgetting what these POS people did to us.
Honestly.
Do you know what they did to us? That's the reason you had to go to the bank, because they had money.
Yeah.
If you want to collect 10,000,
They will collect half of it.
3,000 naira from us.
Yes.
I'm telling you, one of them got burnt because of it.
You know,
it's
a terrible thing. You know, so we just pray that, you know, everything you know, goes well.
But I can tell you, Tom, that Emefiele is a changed person. You know, all due Mistraya that he's been taken to court here and out there.
You can. No, well, I understand where she's coming from. I mean, if you have that picture, you can, you know, put the picture on the screen so that we can remind people that immediately Emefiele was charged to court, was taken into detention, he remembered very quickly that there was something, one book that he could refer to in his time of need, a very massive one, and he clutched it underneath his armpit. I mean, I wish we could find that picture of him with the Bible. Oh my God, I remember that. Oh yeah, that's the picture. And he made the Bible his friend, you know. And we hope he read everything that was in the Bible, and he would now implement it now that he has been released. But I keep telling you, this personal vendetta is not a good thing. It's not good, you know, aura. It's not a good thing. And I want to think that is a masculine side of you that is working. You know, because they say the woman allows her heart to rule her head, but the man allows his head to rule his heart.
Please leave me alone, because when I remember money crisis period, water ran out of my face. I'm telling you,
that time was not funny.
You realize that POS said me I should pay 400 to collect 2,000.
You can imagine.
Honestly. But you know, those POS people, they should have really.
But to those who stood by us during that time, because we still have the good people.
Yes, so
POS
some people,
we have some of them.
Which
like
one?
There's this particular guy in my area.
Couple of them were there.
I didn't see one.
No, I saw.
And
There's this particular guy in my area.
No,
I'm telling you.
Some filling stations were so wicked.
Electricals.
Filling stations that were wicked, they will tell you.
Yes, some filling stations too.
Yes, yes.
Filling stations.
Why some filling stations are giving their customers cash?
Yes.
Just take this.
And you see, there's this filling station at Agidingbi. Yeah, I think I have to mention their name because I need to appreciate them.
I need to appreciate one too.
Mobile filling station at Agidingbi. The one at Agidingbi. I'm telling you, they stood by us during that time. And whenever there's Agidingbi, yes, here. Yes. And but even when there's fuel scarcity, I'm telling you, if they have fuel, they will sell. And even other people are selling 600 and something. They're still selling 500 and something.
Well, I had that same experience.
There's another one that they call Okesuno, Yasuno, whatever they
Oh
call
yes, I think no.
On your own.
They were not nice at all.
No. They were not nice. No, they're not even nice.
I have the what do you call it? The AP on Awolowo Road. Or just beside Okotiebo. They were excellent. There was not a time I drove into that filling station. Even if they were not selling, they would sell to me. So I do appreciate them at this point. But they stood by us. Yes, they stood by us. Okay, well, that's it on the newspaper headline review. We'll take a break right now and we will come right back at you. Please stay tuned.
Convict music.
Maybach music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mama, Neme, what a beautiful onyinye. Bimo. I was feeling so sad because I was all alone. Was so bad. And there she goes. She touched my heart and said, "Hey, person, I know to go." Hey, was so glad. The way she keeps me smiling, it brings me joy. She proves this loving is real. Within my heart, there's no your hand. Let me take you away. Mommy, me. Yeah. See the girl I want marry. No time, no delay. After all the things I've been through, I present my love to you. The girl I want marry. The girl I want marry. See the girl I want carry. Now the girl I want marry. Oh, Rolando no more.